Hey guys, I'm Pixel Dan, and this is a review of the Superman Man of Steel Movie Masters General Zod from Mattel. It's finally time! Man of Steel is hitting theaters, and these Movie Masters figures are finally starting to show up in stores across the country. So, we had to pick up the villain from the film, General Zod, to take a look at him. As you can see, Zod comes in that same blister card style packaging, which is incredibly cool looking. I'm a big fan of the packaging for these particular figures, because they're very bright and colorful and really stand out on the store shelves. You can see the blister bubble itself is shaped like the Superman shield, and in the background behind the figure we have what appears to be Superman's chest, featuring that Superman shield emblem that's got the textures and details of his costume. Kind of starting at the top of the card back there and folding around to the front of the blister is a cool flowing red cape design, which doubles as the title of the character within at the lower portion of the blister bubble. The back of that packaging shows off all three figures that are available in Series 1, and even gives us some information on the General Zod character. Alright, so let's go ahead and take a look at Zod outside of the packaging. Now, this particular version of Zod in Series 1 is the version that is wearing just the straight black suit without all of the armor and the helmet and such. So it's a much more simplistic version of Zod. The face sculpt on the figure is pretty decent. It's got a pretty good likeness to the actor, though the sculpting on there is a tad soft. But there is still a good amount of paintwork on there. You can see there's a bit of a 5 o'clock shadow going on there, and his hair is dark brown and slicked forward. Now, even though he's wearing just a straight black costume, the detailing is actually incredibly nice on this particular figure. Taking a look up close, you can see that there are lots of sculpted details in the actual suit. You can see lots of lines kind of around his waist there that almost work like a belt, with a bit of a belt buckle right there on the front of his pelvis. And there's lots of great line detailing on the boots, and the legs, and the arms, and you can see on his chest is the Zod shield emblem. Also, you can see that it's got all of those little textures that are seen in the new Superman and Zod costumes. Looking up close, you can see all the little ridges and notches kind of sculpted into the figure that do have a bit of a lighter color black, so they do stand out. It's not just a solid black color. There's definitely some nice color variation there, so that all the details do seem to stand out. Now, as far as the articulation goes on Zod, it's basically exactly the same as what we saw with the Superman from the same series. The head is able to turn both left and right, and does have a bit of a hinge joint so it can slightly move up and down, though it's not going to move up high enough to really get some good flying poses. He's got the ball joints at the shoulders, swivels at the bicep, single joints at the elbows, swivels at the wrist. There is no torso cut articulation, so it doesn't break up the sculpt there. But he does have the waist swivel ability. He's got the hinge joints at the thigh, so the legs can go outwards, forwards, and backwards. A cut at the thigh there, a single joint at the knee. There is no boot cut articulation, and then he's got the standard joints at the ankle. So it is still a pretty decent amount of articulation. The only bit on there that I wish he had was that boot swivel, so that we can kind of turn his feet a little bit better, but otherwise I'd say the articulation's pretty good on this guy. The other thing worth noting is that both of his hands are in closed fists, just like the Superman figure we saw before him. So you're not going to really be able to get him to hold anything, but he doesn't really come with any accessories anyway. The only downfall I kind of see to this is that I kind of wish he had at least one open hand so that we can get some really good kneel before Zod poses, but really, he's just ready for fisticuffs with Superman. The only actual accessory that comes with Zod is a figure display stand, which I do really like. Just like Superman, it is shaped like the shield emblem, but this one is a dark kind of gray and black translucent color scheme, and it features the Zod symbol on there instead of the Superman. So there you go, guys. There's a look at the Series 1 General Zod from Mattel's Movie Masters line. Overall, I am pretty happy with this figure, and he fits in really great with the Superman Movie Masters figure. It's kind of one of those things where if you've got a Superman, you should probably get a Zod to complete that set, and that was exactly my feeling when picking this particular figure up. Now, as I said earlier, Series 2 actually has an armored Zod who looks incredibly cool and might actually be the definitive Zod in the Movie Masters line, but I haven't been able to track that one down yet. But as soon as I get a hold of him, I'll definitely do a video to compare. So the Movie Masters General Zod is hitting store shelves right now, so happy hunting, and until next time.